If you ever loved me as a brother, you would break it off with her. Hi, this is Kaz from Aussie Kaz Plays, and welcome back to the Noble Generation of my Medieval Legacy Challenge. This is part 2 of Falling, which is what the previous episode was called. I split the episode in half because there was too much for one episode. So let's get back into Bartholomew and Gabriel's birthday. They didn't actually get to cut the cake at their wedding, so this is like, he's like, help me, and she's like, okay, and smashed her way through the window. Anaya's like, I can't wait for this. Kids, I'm too hungry. Look how beautiful Coraline is. I know I said this last time we saw her. She's such a pretty sim. And she still has the creepy head turn. I thought they patched that. They did not. It's fine. Fox, get out of the house. So Bartholomew probably really... He's obviously not going to tell his parents. I think Bartholomew, his relationship with his dad's actually presumably quite good. Yeah, it is. But this isn't realistic for where their relationship should be at. I can fix that. I'm not saying I'm going to make them enemies, but I think they have an uneasy friendship at this point. And now they've probably got a sentiment because it drops so fast. Neglected by a workaholic! That's actually perfect. Bartholomew blames Father Jacob for always putting work first and letting their relationship deteriorate. That's actually kind of true because Jacob's so focused on his faith and his writing and wanting his son to be a little cookie cutter of him that he hasn't really listened to his son, found out what Bartholomew actually wants in life. Of course, what Bartholomew wants isn't socially acceptable. He wants to live with his brother, throw parties, and hang out with a nun. Yeah, although he was on Party Animal as a teen, he's on Soulmate now, so he's settling down, sort of. But his romantic interest, obviously, is a terrible decision. Oh my god, did she just throw my cake away? Excuse me? Anyway, it's fine. No, you're not flirting. Adopt as care dependent. That is horrifying. That is your wife. And none of my Sims have danced with each other. So that's a little unfortunate. I need this cute moment. That's not the kind of dancing that I meant. Come on. He's like nodding his head to the music. So let's have a quick look while we're looking at these cuties. We're going to have a look at his skills. Because he needs to get level 10 in an art skill. Oh, look at them go. He needs to get level 10 in an art skill. So, or max out an art skill. We're going to ignore dancing. So he currently doesn't have any art skills. Singing a 10 level skill? I do actually think, based on, again, Pride and Prejudice, stop doing flirty emotes with your brother. It's creeping me out. Based on that kind of reading, I actually think male singing at parties was a form of entertainment back then because they didn't have stereos, they didn't have any of that kind of stuff. So a guy that could sing a complex song and carry a tune, I think they wouldn't be judged in the way that they would now, like in modern times. Can you imagine? Maybe I should... Oh, he was trying to repair the radio. Maybe I should have them try for a baby. Let's do it. Let's have them try for a baby, because it would be cool to see whether the next heir is like male or female or whatever. Get out, Gabriel. I need to pee. I actually do want these guys to also talk. All right, Mira's gone to bed. These two are not woohooing, apparently. Dreamy eyes from crushing on someone nearby. Oh, she's so cute. Alright, might get her to knit then. They can try for a baby later. Alright, well I guess it's time for these guys to have a conversation then. So he's going to announce his engagement, but not necessarily to who. He's like, I have something to tell you. I'm engaged, and he's so happy. Can't wait to tell everyone about his engagement. It's his favourite topic of conversation because he can't keep it inside anymore. So he's then gonna... So I think he'd be like, well, you know, I'd be honoured to be involved. Let's enthuse about it. Who's the lucky lady? And he's like, I can't tell you. It's like, what do you mean you can't tell me? Bartholomew, what have you done? Ask for invitation to Bartholomew's wedding. Ask about another sim. He doesn't actually know Emily. Oh no, he did meet her when they were children. Bartholomew's telling him. I don't think he's asking about Emily. He'd have no reason to. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to have him share a secret. Bartholomew's like, oh, look, I'm so in love with this woman, you wouldn't believe it, but society won't approve. And he's like, well, who is it? You have to tell me. And he's like, it's your sister-in-law. It's like, are you serious? It's the princess. And he's like, yes, I met her when I was here visiting you, and I fell madly in love with her. And she's in love with me as well. And it's not fair because her family have trapped her. And he's going into a rant. Her family have trapped her in that monastery against her will. And it's totally unjustified. We're going to leave. We're going to leave. And I want you to... Boston, you got to leave. Yeah, go away. Boston's like, young sirs, can I get anything for you? And they're both like, no, it's fine. He's like, okay, off you go, Boston. I think if I changed his hair, he'd actually be a cute sim. All right, I had a bit of a situation where every sim in the house decided now was the time to come in here, including apparently Amy, even though she's meant to be going to bed. I've just queued some actions for them all because these guys are, I think he's going to argue. I can't see him doing anything else. Argue about politics. It has huge political implications. Bartholomew earning the wrath of the entire royal family would have huge implications, partly for Gabriel, but he's also partly protected by Amy and Lucas. Mainly for Jacob, because Bartholomew, although maybe Lucas would cop it too, because this has all happened under Lucas's nose in Lucas's house. Yeah, the royal family's going to be really mad. So it's a problem. So they're having an argument. Bartholomew's, you don't understand. She's trapped. Don't you understand love? And he's like, I understand responsibility to my family. So he's feeling really sad. He feels hurt. He feels wronged by him. That's actually a fair reaction. So he's like, if you ever loved me as a brother, you would break it off with her. She earned her way into that monastery behaving in an inappropriate way. The rumours are that she was engaging in woohoo out of wedlock with a noble's son who was engaged to someone else. Bartholomew's like, that's all a lie. He's like, you know, if you do this, we're done. It's extreme, but he's angry. Even though it says he's not angry, it says he's got a safe secret. Gabriel's basically giving him an ultimatum. Because he probably didn't think particularly highly of Emily because he's heard all the stories about, you know, the trouble Emily got herself into. He's probably also heard them from Amy, who would have the truth of it and would know, you know, if Emily was flirting with all the boys at the parties at the palace and kissing a lot of different boys and things that would be very shocking in medieval times. And Gabriel, with his proper personality, and Amy obviously isn't approving of it either. Like, Emily is the black sheep, and he's like, why would you? Of all of the eligible women in the realm, we could find you someone better. Why her? And he's like, because I love her. There is something kind of noble to that. This is heartbreaking, but it also makes sense. I'm going to switch across to Bartholomew. Now he feels hurt too. Why don't you understand? I'm going to let these arguments run. I think at the end of this, Bartholomew, I mean, he should have left already. He'd already promised he would be picking her up by now. She's probably thinking he's changed his mind. I think Gabriel would actually try and stop him. Like, physically try and stop him. The thing is, they can't fight because their relationship's too high. He'd be like, no, you know, you need to stay here and you need to think about it and collect yourself and, you know, come to your senses, basically. You'll like, oh, you got that sentiment again. You know, you'll come to realize this is a terrible mistake if you just take some time to think about it. What? Now is the time he gets a great reputation? He literally just lost a friendship category. He's feeling angry, hurt, aggravating conversation. No, in scenario, he probably can see Bartholomew's point that he does love Emily, but at the same time, he's like, this is untenable. There is no way that this can work. So I'm actually going to cheat this down into the negatives. I don't know if they can actually fight. I think shove, and then we'll leave it at that. Bartholomew's then going to leave. I'm really sad about this. There's no way it would go any differently is the problem, because there's no way that, I mean, Gabriel's trying to protect himself and his wife and his family, and Bartholomew is being selfish and only thinking about himself. That's what it kind of comes down to. He's thinking about himself and he's thinking about Emily. So he's still, despite all that, feeling super flirty. Despite all of that arguing and falling out with his brother and not being best friends anymore and all of it, I think he's going to go upstairs and talk to his wife and be like, oh my God, this thing's about to happen. Probably running to the monastery to try and intercept Bartholomew. That's what they're all going to be doing. But they don't know Emily is not at the monastery. So they're like, it's okay, we can stop him from making this terrible mistake. We can stop Emily. We can talk to Malia and explain that she's lost control of Emily. But they don't know it's already too late. All right, guys, it took a bit of doing, but I have brought Bartholomew to Emily, who is right here doing a creepy head turn. That's fine. I'm going to have him do a frenzied kiss with her. She looks so mad. Why is she tense? Oh, she's got a looming anxiety as well. Have I made a terrible mistake? But she's obviously in disguise. She's like not in her nun outfit. And he's like, all right, I'm here. I'm sorry it took so long. Let's go. She's probably like, what now? You know, it's the middle of the night. And he's like, look, we have to go now. He's probably not going to admit to her that he told his brother. But he's like, look, I'm just worried that something's going to happen to stop us. The stars are aligning. Let's go. Called out for being called out by a loyal sim. Oof. He's feeling embarrassed because his crush is nearby. No win scenario, aggravating conversation. Poor boy. I do feel bad for him, but they're gonna book it. So they're running to their carriage, probably paying a hefty sum for the carriage driver to basically get them out as quickly as possible without asking any questions. Now, I know this party's going to be really long. I was actually contemplating while I was giving her little mini makeover whether or not I should split it into 2 parts. I'll see how I go during editing. Obviously, you guys will know. You know now what I don't know yet. So it's almost like you're time traveling to know more than me. I mean, they both kind of got what they wanted. He wanted Emily. He wanted to not be under his father's thumb. He wanted to be able to live his own life. He gets all of that. Whether he's going to be ultimately happy in the long term living with the Fae is a separate question. Interestingly, confession, when they woohooed in the cowshed, I did have them try for a baby, but she's not actually pregnant. I'm actually going to have them elope, and we're going to end on this. They're marrying themselves. Seriously thinking negative thoughts. Emily, oh my god, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here, sweetheart, but you're making this really hard. You'll see I've actually moved them into the Fae household already. It was the only way I could do this in the middle of the night, because when I brought them here without them being in the same household, the other sim immediately left. It was a whole thing. Yeah, little Bartholomew had his birthday and then got married on a bridge in Henford-on-Bagley without his family. I know some of you are going to hate this because I know Emily is a divisive kind of character, and I'm sorry, but I followed the logical chain of events based on their personalities. You know, she's romantic. He's now romantic, but he wasn't. He's mischievous though, and, you know, she's a little bit manipulative, and I think he was just a bit naive. I think if he'd been a bit more cynical, he wouldn't have let himself get emotionally entangled with her. We'll see how it goes, because they now are going to run off and live with the Fae, and if they can handle that lifestyle of, you know, endless parties, I feel like they'll probably be fine with it. I'm not going to lie. Oh, look at them kissing. I'll show you guys the lot where they live. You have seen it before. All right, so they're currently staying on this lot. I am actually going to move them into a house. I figured to start with that I'd move them here, and I'll move them into a Fae style house in this kind of style of terrain. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be a bit of work, but I think, you know, Emily's happy. Bartholomew has gone to sleep on a park bench. I'm going to leave this part here. I hope those of you who maybe don't approve of this relationship didn't hate it too much. Let me know what you thought. I do genuinely want to hear from you guys, but if you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.